issue 6 of
Yeah.
Batman the Shadow, written by Steve Orlando and Scott Snyder, art by Riley Rosmo. Um, I think this will be a fairly quick conversation because I think I've liked a lot of this mini, but I do think this issue and the last issue were just kind of, oh, this is the conclusion we're obviously going to get, and it was just kind of, okay, let's just do it.
Yep.
Whereas issue 1 and issue 3 and 4, I thought were doing so many inventive things to smash them together. Whereas this issue was fine. Like, I didn't, it was, I enjoyed it well enough. But it,
A lot less of the shadow mythos here and much more Batman.
yeah.
Which I feel as we got away from the shadow and it was more Batman, which, hey, it's a DC comic. I get that. But I was way more into how you would combine the shadow stuff with the Batman. So, and like the whole Joker and the Stag, I loved all that stuff.
Yeah,
And
that was great, yeah.
yeah, here though, it kind of, not that it let down, but it was just like, oh yeah, of course that's how this is going to end.
Yeah, it was kind of the obvious ending we were going to go to. It just makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, because a lot of the issue is Shadow's fighting Stag and Joker, whilst Shambhala
Yeah.
is burning or whatever,
It
and
it got a lot. What's the guy? Lovecraft. Shambhala got super Lovecraftian, and I was not expecting that.
yeah,
Like
whereas
it makes sense, but whoa.
Batman's in a higher plane of existence with another, because there's like other tiers of
Yeah.
Shambhala where it's in a different like plane of existence, and
Plane of existence. Yeah.
Batman's there talking to them, and they're like, "Oh, we can make you the Shadow, or you can leave." Because normally, like evil people come here and then they get the choice of
Yeah.
redeeming themselves by becoming the Shadow or just dying.
But you're not evil, so
Yeah, and we get a little
yeah.
bit of the Stag's backstory. He was like, his brother was killed, and he vowed
He
vengeance, and
swore vengeance, and I like that because they were these two bad guys trying to get to Shambhala because they'd heard like if you're wicked and you reach to this, you can do whatever you want. But it killed one of the brothers, and so he swore revenge, and that's why he's been trying to kill anything associated. He wanted to get there to reclaim that power. So that was super cool. I like that.
yeah. Uh, Batman obviously says, no, I'm not going to be this. Because I like Batman's sort of whole argument here, though. His big point when he made to the gods of Shambhala is, he's like, no, I don't want to be immortal. Batman is immortal, but there has to be a different face. There has to be a different person. The whole
Yep.
point is that I started this and that people can continue it themselves. Whether that's Tim, Damien, whatever. Like
Yeah.
it can be passed on. Like that's a big important part. He doesn't want to be immortal. He still wants to be one of them, one of the people he's fighting for.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just they win the fight. Shambhala is taken away from this plane of existence. It's just gone forever, which means the Shadow's now stuck as being the Shadow. He will never be able to take that away. He's now immortally going to be that. And it's that's kind of the ending, and it is set up that Batman and the Shadow still have stuff to learn from each other. Which conveniently, there's another miniseries coming called the Shadow
Yeah.
Batman with the names flipped, which is starting
Yep.
next week.
From Dynamite.
Which yeah, I mean, we're not going to be covering that. I mean, I don't think I'm ready for another like. I'd be up for a sequel, I think, down the line, but not right away. I'm
Yeah,
not.
and like in like 6 months to a year, where
Yeah,
like yeah.
it's too soon. But like obviously, I enjoyed this mini well enough. It was a good bit of fun, especially the earlier issues. I think the last couple were just a bit
Yeah.
more straightforward and kind of what I expected it to end like.
Mm.
So whereas issue 3 and 4 and even the first issue were like, oh man, this is exciting. This is what they can do with this mishmash of properties. Uh,
Definitely.
but
There's a
that's
super
fine.
cool image that represents that, where they're talking about, the Shambhala, higher beings are talking to Batman how he can become the Shadow, and there's an image of Batman as the Shadow with the scarf,
Hmm.
but also with his cape and his cowl, wielding the dual pistols, and I was like, I don't like Batman using guns, but that's pretty cool looking.
Actually, my favorite page of this was the page where the Shadow's like talking to Bruce about his past, and it's like a series of panels, and his scarf is going down the page, and it's you get the idea that every time his scarf goes past his face, he
Yep,
changes to someone else, and he changes to
someone else.
Commissioner Gordon, and he changes to uh, Alfred at one point. He changes to like all these
Yeah,
people from Batman's past. And it's this really cool page because I really get that sense that as the scarf goes past, that's when his face is changing. So they did a really good job of emulating that
yeah,
in the art, which was cool. And we've talked a lot of nice things about Rosmo's art, other than these Batman ears, which are far too short. But other than that,
yeah.
art's quite good. So just cool. So it was a fine final issue. It was just straightforward. and maybe not as inventive as some of the previous ones, but still good things to enjoy in there.